arc striking with a 70 to 18 electrode. Some people shy away from stick welding because learning to strike an arc can be difficult for beginners. But today I will show you the method I use, and with some practice you'll be striking arcs and running beads in no time. First, let's explain what's happening when you're striking an arc. The electrode holder, this is known as an electrode holder, this is your positive. This ground is known as your negative. When you touch these two together, this will be connected to your work, of course. You get a spark, or in our case, it's an arc. Another way to think about striking an arc is like striking a match with the scratch method. The scratch method works a lot better to me because I can explain it a lot easier. Let's say this is your negative or your welding plate. This is your positive or your electrode. Once they touch and you strike it, it's just like you're striking a match. And once the match is ignited, you want to take that to the plate and start welding. Another thing you need to watch out for, once you struck an arc and you want to try and strike an arc again, some people take a file and scrape this off. Basically, the only thing you need is a hard surface, as long as it's not connected to the electrode holder at the same time. You want to make sure this metal is exposed on the end, because what normally happens is someone will weld a bead. Once they weld a bead and the arc extinguishes, they'll try to strike arc again, but they have this little silicone coating over the top. And what happens is, once you try and strike arc, you hear a bunch of really pecking and everything. Again, some people take a file and scrub that piece off. That way you have straight metal to metal contact. Now we're going to start trying to run a straight bead. That don't sound good. What you really want when you weld, you want a pillar. Right now, we're welding on a Synchro-Wave 210 DC-EP reverse polarity at about 105 amps. And as you can see, with the right travel speed and the right heat, right angle, first bead, you can get a pillar. All right. Another thing we want to talk about is when you're stacking multiple beads. What you want to do is point right here at this toe line and go straight down, straight across. Okay. Sometimes as a welder, you don't even need a chipping hammer, but I will use a brush just so you can see the row of dimes that we have produced. Rest it off like that. That might have been a little warm. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this electrode and run straight down the edge of this. Straight down the edge. And this is how you want to get your tie-ins together. This is the best exercise to learn how to tie your welding beads in. and consistently follow these all the way down. The main thing about stick welding is there's a controllable electrode, and it's being controlled. So you have to adjust your body to make sure you can compensate for the electrode. Got another pillar. You always want to just be able to knock your slag off like that. Being that your electrode goes from the normal length that it is down to this, you have to compensate. You have to compensate with how you're moving. Okay? So in my situation, what I like to do, if one thing stops moving, I start moving another. But you gotta always make sure that your electrode is going down into that plate. This is being consumed. The plate is hungry. Feed it down into the plate, down into the plate. The main thing about welding with stick electrodes, your electrode goes down from this size, it's about 11, 12 inches, down to almost a 2.5 inch stub. And always remember to burn down to the numbers. Burn down to the numbers. 70/18, if you don't know, the 70 represents 70,000 pounds per square inch. The 1 represents the position, and in this situation, 1 means it could be welded in all positions. And then the 8 is the flux characteristics, or the composition of the coating on this electrode. Okay? When you're welding, you have to make sure that you compensate. So what ends up happening once you start welding here, if you don't do a dry run, you might end up going over here. Another thing that commonly happens when people are welding, they'll start in this situation. They'll start at a good angle and everything, and they'll go to reach up to grab their hood, and once they grab their hood, they're nowhere where they need to be. So it's a good practice to get braced and just throw your lid down with your neck like so. And remember, whenever you're trying to use the scratch method, it's just like a match. Positive, negative, once they touch and they strike, that's your arc, you go to the plate. Simple. Just think about it that way, and I think it'll be a lot easier. If you like what I provide, go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel, and we can get more videos for you in the future. Thanks. Wilberts Welding Services. From education to fabrication, we got you.